All right, so welcome to Power Hour. Today is December 15th. We're nearing Christmas countdown and just want to get our structure really straight for next year. We are about to encounter, for those of you that have not been here for a December, December is a weird month because like part of the month you feel like you're shaking the tree and trying to prevent cancellations, whether it's appointments canceling on you, check-ins canceling on you, and you go through this really weird thing where it's like that, and then at the end of the month it's almost just like everybody wants everything. They want the reorders are coming, the reactivations are coming, the referrals are coming. So I give you that as to say, enjoy the quiet before the storm. And this is a good time. Julie and I were just talking about this. It's an excellent time to shore up your structure and really look at like, hey, am I staying true to my business hours? What should my business hours be? Some of you, as I look in the screen, I want to be a little bit more nimble with my teaching today as I'm looking at who's on, knowing there'll be people watching. Some of you may have started out as a health coach and now you're going into a business coach. And so the same hours that you had for your health coaching business may need to be increased for your business coaching business. And those of you that are like, I was a business coach, but I'm really stretching myself to be a strategic partner and have a larger business, you're going to want to look at your structure too. Sometimes I think what makes us maybe a little anxious or frustrated even is that we don't recognize that our businesses need us to pop open a couple more windows and say no to a couple more things that are maybe fun, but they're not going to get you where you want to go next year. So this is a really good time to look at your business hours and say, are they adequate? Do they offer, when I meet with my life coach, she's always looking at my greatest and highest priorities and saying, okay, if marriage is a great and central priority, where is that on the calendar? Show me. If children, eye-to-eye contact with no phones, seeing your children and listening to them, where is that on your calendar? Where is your white space on your calendar? And so it's a really good idea to get index cards. We've talked about this before from, each index card represents an hour. And so what are you doing from 7 to 8 in the morning, from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11? Are there friendships that are kind of getting pushed off that you're like, man, I haven't had a friend date in a long time. Schedule it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, especially if you're growing. And, these are just some things that I want to give you that I've failed at and I continue to fail. It's just the only thing is I have someone checking on me. Think about that. I continue to fail, but I have someone that I'm accountable to, that I have to present my values to on a monthly, bi-monthly basis. And she looks at it and goes, uh-oh, we're kind of getting away from what you said is really important. So that kind of brings me to you, right? Are you seeing that that's what you're giving your clients? You're giving your clients the ability to meet with someone weekly and still fail, but say it's okay because this is what you said you wanted, right? With that client support. So I want to start off with that structure. What are your desires for your business for this next year? What are your visions? It's not corny to do a vision board with your mentor and start there and go, yeah, I want a new car. I need a new car. Help me, mentor. I need a car payment to come out of my business. Like, this is a great time of year to just push back and look at that. So those are just some mindsets that I wanted to give you today. Also wanted to give you guys just some serious encouragement, like serious encouragement. Our team is doing phenomenal. You guys are in action. You guys are serving people. You guys are not waiting and just sitting by and reporting the news. Tim and I are so blessed to work alongside of you guys, and the energy, you guys are bringing an energy to the mission. And it's a really good energy right now. And it's giving us energy, and then we're giving back good energy. So it just needs to be said that this team is amazing. And some of you guys have big old life stuff happening. Like I know, buying houses, moving, relocating, things going on with children, like you're fighting for it. So I just wanted to say, like, wow, it's amazing. You're amazing. And please make sure that throughout your weeks, over the next couple of weeks, that you give that to yourself and give that to your team, because it's notable. And we're hearing this from other leaders where they're like, wow, Rachel, what's going on with your team? Like, you guys are just, and I'm like, it's just the people. They're amazing and they're in action and it's contagious. So those are my little mindset things before we get into it. Anybody have anything today that you want to bring into community that you feel like you need from these calls, that you need from this call, that you're like, oh, sometimes like this, like, I hope she talks about this, put it in the chat. But I have an agenda, but put it in the chat, because I don't care about staying to my agenda. I want to.
Hi, Rachel. Just know that there is seed time and harvest. There's a time to sow, and then there's a time to reap. Ooh. And honestly, if my mind is not doing what I knew to do before Optavia, which is one of the things that pulled me to Optavia, spending that time, quality time in the morning and at night with the Lord, and then I hear Dr. A say it, but in different terminologies, but it's the same thing. Because if we don't pour anything in when the discouragement comes, there's nothing to pour. Because I went to the doctor, I got a bad report, and I'm serious, and got on a messenger link, because that's so private to me, and said, hey, let's hop in my Zoom room. I want to really talk with you, bring this to a health assessment. This particular individual is over a year now, and saying, I'm serious this time. And I said, well, let's hop into my Zoom room and let's talk about what's possible. What is it that you're trying to create with your health? And then I'll get the pushback, oh, I'm leaving out of town this week, and when I get back. And I'm thinking, well, really, it's not an emergency as they stated, so I can't take that to heart. I got to keep sewing. And I am confident that, most people, honestly, they're saying, my doctor said this, my doctor said that, but they're not willing to put the time in. And I can't take it personally, can't be attached to it, but I'm going to do my best. When I get them on a HA, I'm going to awaken some things with all the skills that we get from here. And then the rest is up to them. So I just wanted to just share that encouragement for whoever needs to hear that this morning. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yes, there is a resiliency that you need to have when you hear those type of things, is how fast do you shake it off, right? What I'm going to hold on to this morning was Melinda in her business thread said, believe it was Melinda Miller, said, I added a friend today and had a conversation. So added a friend, started a conversation. I have a health assessment. And this is the model. Does it work every single time you do it? No, but it works more than if we don't do it, for sure. Okay, so get these little guys out. We're going to get mastery at the fundamentals as a team. Okay, so if this team, with your big old hearts and your funny personalities and all your creativity and all that you bring to the mission, if you master the fundamentals of our business and then you add that unicorn you're going to become unstoppable. Okay. Remember this, we cannot duplicate personalities. Okay. So you can't duplicate your personality, but you can duplicate systems that keep the client central and make sure that every single client is getting awesome support and a chance at coaching with us. So we're going to start with the health coach checklist today. If you guys don't know where this is and you're like, oh, I don't know what she's talking about, I did go ahead and put it in the organic thread. And also your mentor should have a copy of this PDF. It's printable. It's something you're going to want to have a lot of copies on your desk. You're going to want to, basically, I would put this right behind my map. Okay. And that's something that business mentors, I would have one of these on every one of my coaches. Every one of my coaches. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have a file or a binder for each coach. I mean, the coaches, that'll say health coaches, and it will have a health coach checklist with each of my health coaches. Then it'll say business coaches, and it'll have my business coach checklist with each of my business coaches. And then I'll have one for strategic partners, and that one will look a lot different, right? And so when I have a map call with one of them, I'm going to grab the binder and make sure, okay, I'm talking to a health coach right now. She's just getting started. I want to make sure that she has all that she needs. So let's look at the transactional basics of our business and then the transformational basics of our business. Okay. So imagine everyone on our team is like, I have these competencies. I know what they are. I know what I'm supposed to be working on. I know which ones I'm missing. I told my mentor I'm not good at that. They're helping me with that. And we're continually moving my ball forward in my development over a 12-month period so that I can be highly capable and confident. When someone's capable and confident, they're more boisterous and they speak out about things because they don't feel like they're failing at that. Okay. So the number one thing transactionally on the health coach checklist, am I living my personal health in integrity? And am I following a nutrition plan? So this is we always say, if your waistline is increasing, your business will shrink. Okay. So if you're on a 3 and 3, are you on a 3 and 3? If you're on a 4 and 2, are you on a 4 and 2? So when you meet with your coaches this week, at any point, how are you doing with your health? What plan are you on? Are you needing any of my accountability? Do you need any help? Do you need any assistance? If they're like, nope, I'm not doing good, I've fallen off the rails, go to page 77 in the Habits of Health book and ask them which of the 4 components are they missing in their own health journey as a coach, as a client. And if they go, yeah, I don't make book club and I don't watch playbacks, start with that. Yeah, I don't read the life book. I mean, I read it when I'm talking to a client, but I don't read it for me. Okay. Are you willing to read it with me for the next month? I can't check in with you weekly, right? But I can check in with you and we can text back and forth because now you're a coach. So your health coaching is brought into community as you become a health coach, right? You guys get the idea with that. Ask each and every one of your coaches, how are you doing with your health? And if that's not where it needs to be, that's the best coaching that you can provide to them ever, because out of that will come their confidence, their post, and everything good will come when they get their health back in order. That's step 1. Okay. Step 2 says, am I using the map daily? What does that mean? Well, obviously you've had these incredible trainings from Kristen and Julie, where they're showing you that the map is to be in front of you every day. What if you have someone on there, like mine says, an order is going to process tomorrow, and I haven't spoke with this client in 3 weeks? I definitely called her today and asked if she needed to make any changes to her order, that it will be processing tomorrow, that I would love to get her back on weekly check-in. So that map was my cue to look down and go, okay, order, date. So are you using it daily? Some of you might only have a handful of clients. It's still a good idea to work off of your map on a daily basis. Do I initiate 20 conversations daily? Some of you might stop right here and go, oh my gosh, no. I know I'm going to say for me, Rachel is not initiating 20 conversations a day. When I'm struggling with something, I take it smaller until I can nail it. Okay. So my commitment right now is 3, 3, and 3. I do 3 conversations in the morning, 3 in the middle of the day, and 3 in the evening. I have 3 alarms go off and I do those. I'm getting better at that. I'm not ready for 20 because I was failing at 10. Okay. So I had to get to a space where I was tapping every day and go, what can I do in structure? And if I can't do the 10, then here's the question. What else is getting in the way of the conversations? Well, I watch all these trainings at night. And then I was like watching this playback, and I'm just going to ask you mentors, come off mute. What's wrong with that? Watching trainings after trainings and not doing your conversations. Tell me, why is that not okay? Why is that not best? Why should someone stop watching trainings and start conversations instead with that half an hour? Megan, I see you coming off mute.
Just because if you don't have any follow-up action, nothing's going to happen with your business. If you're just watching the trainings and taking the information, it's not going to take you anywhere. So the action is where it's at for sure.
So are you saying if I was going to start conversations or watch the playback of this power hour, and I'm a health coach, which is best for me?
I mean, technically you should do both, but probably starting conversations.
Yes, yes, and yes. I think a long time ago, Micah King did this training where she was like, you know, the people, right? Where it's like, we're by the pool. There's a pool party. And it's like, well, hold on, let me put some sunscreen on, and you put the sunscreen on. And then it's like, well, hold on, let me go fill up my Hydro Flask. I'm going to get in the pool. Well, hold on, let me just put my toe in. Oh my gosh, it's kind of cold. And they're always getting ready to get ready to get ready to get in the pool, but they never actually get in the pool. And then someone just comes along and the jokester pushes them in. Now they're laughing and splashing and swimming. They just needed that shove to go get in the pool. It's not that bad, right? But you know that we do spend a lot of time. Do you guys recognize preparation as procrastination? And there's a healthy tension to what I'm saying. But preparation over preparing, the perfect binder, the gel pen, the like, ooh, I'm going to get so organized, but I'm not going to literally, Amy knows about the gel pen. Like, we're going to get it all so pretty, but we haven't talked to anybody today. Guys, that's killing our business. Like that's a thing that comes in and it erodes the potential of this mission because we're all so organized and wanting to get ready and make sure that the dog isn't barking before we start our conversations and all the things, right? So I camped out on that because truthfully, there are people that will swear in Doug Wood's organization, another organization, they said, once we taught our team to do 10 conversations a day and nothing else until that happened, everything changed. Everything changed. It was like night and day. They said we were doing so much training about trainings, you know, and debriefing about the training on the training. And they were like, if we could just get them to do 10 conversations a day for 30 days, magic happened in their business. I want to share with you guys this. The thing that will happen is you get to be selective. Because if you're doing 2 to 4 health assessments a week, and you're trying to grow your business by 1 point frontline and 1 point blended, I have this posture on my health assessment that is so strong. And it's not like I'm trying to tell them they shouldn't do program, but I genuinely have so much in the hopper that I'm okay if it's not a fit. I'm good. I'm not going to do that because there's so much in the hopper from being consistent that I can kind of go, yeah, if you can't make the calls, if you can't read 5 minutes a day, if you're not willing to activate a little emoji in Facebook and get nourished, and All of these things are what's required for permanent transformation. What you're describing, not reading, not being able to check in with me, not being able to get on calls, not being able to XYZ, what you're describing is a diet, and I don't coach diets. So literally we need to come to a space where I don't need all those things to happen overnight, but that's what's required of you in this program. And then let me tell you what my requirements are. So this is your role and this is my role. And if we're crystal clear on that, then you're going to have permanent breakthrough. Now, if you're doing 10 conversations a day, you can afford to talk like that, because you're going to be like, I'm sorry, this just doesn't sound like a fit. I had a call this week that was just like that, you guys. She's looking for a kickstart. She knows what to do. She doesn't want to do the books. She had a friend refer her on and on. We're not moving forward. Okay. There's nothing for me to help her with. I'm not sad, because I had 2 more health assessments yesterday that understood their role and they move forward and they're welcomed into Nourished. So I want to give you that. We get desperate. We start offending transactional basics. We get into a scarcity mindset. I need 2 clients to make my rank. That can happen. We're human. The first thing that goes out the window is the transactional basics, because we're just like, I need this order, and it's okay. She's not really gonna, she said she's private. And so I'm just gonna let her run right back to where she started. Am I posting before and after transformations in my stories? This is all self-evaluation. Do I post and nurture health content in social media? Quick accountability step. Text someone on this team and say, I give you full permission to audit my page. Do I look like a health coach? Would you know I'm a health coach? How many times did you have to do this to figure that out? What letter grade would you give me on engagement? And are you finding any value on my page? If you were shopping for a program, would you call me? Ask someone else on this team that question, okay? And give them full permission to say the hard things. And then ask your mentor to do that for your page. This is when I said, next year, this 2022, are you going to be addicted to praise or feedback? That's what it's going to look like, okay? Is asking people, like putting your hand out and saying, it's okay, you could tell me the truth, and not being offended if they go, couple of things, like, I don't see you thinking the likes, like, I don't see a lot of engagement. It looks like media. It doesn't look like social media from here. You good with that? Like, oh, thanks, because who doesn't want to know that? Let's stop and have questions on anything that I've covered so far before we go further down. But these are things that we need every single client, every single coach to be doing with us, and just having these kind of conversations and getting away from pep talks. Michelle Singleton.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm going to be really real and honest. I really, really needed to hear that just now, because I haven't, well, first of all, let me back up. Starting conversations, so valuable, right? But for the last, well, since December has started, I have literally been just completely disengaged. I've been doing all of my posts, and, I've been on my page and I've been active, but I'm just like, Lord, I feel like I just need a break. I'm really burnt out. And so my conversations, even though like I share with my coaches, like, hey guys, keep going. I haven't been doing it. And it's definitely reflecting in my business, because I've not signed on any clients. So I'm not getting anybody new healthy. And so I just kind of wanted to re-edify that what you're saying is so valid, like 1,010%, if that's even a thing. So I needed to hear that. Just being real.
Thank you. Who appreciates that kind of transparency? Like, that's like, hey, I went through a little burnout. I got sick. I got wiped out. My kid got sick. I fell out of my habit loop with my conversations, and I'm struggling to get back in, but I know that it works. Like, what else could you ask for in terms of like honesty and community? And we're not we're not chasing perfection. We're also learning how to count the cost of like, okay, if I step away too long. So our business is really funny. Those of you that are going nuts right now, signing up a lot of clients, I know it's what you were doing in October. Okay. You were very consistent in October if you're having a great December. Okay. For those of you that are having a lumpy December, I'd have to go back and say, what were you doing in October? And that's just how that goes. So the motivation there is to understand that if you take a nap, right, or hibernate without the fundamentals in there, you're going to have a catch-up period that might be a little more difficult than you estimated. So thank you, Michelle. We'll be praying for you. You've had a lot of life hit you, and I love your honesty. And I know that it served our team well just to be like, let's keep it real. There's times where we falter, but that's why we have this crew. Opal, I see your hand up. You want to share?
Yes, and piggybacking on that, being just transparent, getting on and off of the roller coaster of just the basic, and taking accountability when we get off track, but getting back on and being okay with being there, because that's just life, you know, and everything. And that chatter of beating yourself up because you got off track, you know, getting past your emotion and your feelings. And that's where I've been in this stage. And I will not allow that chatter to stop me, because I know the blessings and I know the end result of it. So that's what it is.
Love it. I'm going to share, amen to all that. I'm going to share with you guys what pulls me out of my burnouts. Okay. It's been almost 5 years in May. How many Zooms? I don't know. How many trainings? I don't know. How many map calls? I wouldn't even want to guess. There's times that I literally have to dig and bring something up for the day because I'm like, whoo, I'm tired, you know? So humanity, it's real. But I want to share with you what I do is I take these snapshots in my brain. This may or may not help you, but I take these snapshots of Junie coming off mute on book challenge and going, hey, first time in my life, my liver enzymes were normal. Like my doctors are blown. Like I dig from that. I have Post-it notes. I keep my head in the other, like, not to say there's times, guys, you just need some self-care and you're probably out of structure and blah, blah, blah. That's a whole nother thing. But what shifts me back quick is like those things. When I hear someone saying, hey, listen, I'm responding better to my special needs children. Like I'm not the same parent. It gives me chills. And I'm like, you can do your conversations today, because on the other side of what you're hesitating is this profound healing for someone. And so it brings me juice. Like it brings me juice when I don't feel like it. And I remember I say what it says on my paper is it says zoom out, because what's happening is I'm zooming in and I'm like, I don't know, I'm losing my voice. I don't know, you know, I don't know if I could do another call. And then I like zoom out, and that zooming out, it puts me back in focus. And then I also say to my body, thank you for warning me that I'm getting out of harmony. I'm getting out of harmony. I got to have a self-care day. I need an hour. I need time. Okay. So yes, stones of remembrance. Someone, Julie, I think you just threw that in there. Yeah. Have something that you look at in your binder that's like, oh my God, who has a whole new life because I showed up in a Zoom room when I was tired, you know? But please listen to your body and please work in structure, because I'm going to tell you guys, after I looked at this, the good news is you can have an ED business at about 7 hours a week if you're fired on all cylinders doing BBA stuff. ED business, no problem. 5 to 7 hours a week, but it's tight. It's like 10 conversations with timers on. It's planning the date nights. It's planning the friend time. It's making sure. And an ED business is about a $34,000 a business a year for about 5 to 7 hours. Not bad, right? But we just got to get better at our structure. So for the next coming weeks, we're going to have different leaders breaking this sheet down, conversating through it. Because if you just read it, it's like, start 10 conversation. Okay, but we got to color it in a little bit like we did today, where it's like, oh, okay, that's what you guys do when you have burnout and you don't want to talk to anybody. So I hope this was helpful. I know we're a couple minutes over. We're not going to shove a lot in the power hours, but we are going to master this stuff together. If you have a new coach, if you have any coaches, look at this and just go, look, friend, one by one, we're going to nail it. Okay. And there will be no, like, Amy, I don't know what I'm supposed to be focused on. Oh, look at your sheet. I'm on vacation with my family this week, but please look at your sheet and then figure out what's missing in your transactional basics and just go do that, right? And then what's missing in your transformational basic, go do that and keep your personal development on track. We got Brian tonight leading us through our book. Man, this is the stuff. This is the stuff that's like, how do I lead when I'm broken still? And it's like, okay, but these are the things that we got to do together to get better, to be better leaders that are not emotionally driven, but we're driven through character, and we make decisions ahead of time, no matter how we feel, right? So awesome being with you guys today. I'm excited about this. Please look those sheets over, and with love and without being critical, go and highlight the ones that you're missing. Just highlight them, okay? Note them, but don't try to tackle all of them at once. That will equal a massive failure, okay? We got to just move in yardage every week. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll get this recording up, and we'll put it in organic in a couple hours. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a good day.